Hey everybody, Jim here with another video for you. This is Shocktober 2025, episode 5. But before I begin, if you like this video at the end, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about this series that I'm doing. Let me know how you feel about the movies that I'm highlighting. So today, like I said, it's episode 5. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I realized today is Sunday, the holiest day, the day of rest, the day of the Sabbath. So let's talk about satanic panic movies, okay? Let's talk about the devil. And no, I'm not talking about possession movies. I'm not talking about demon movies. I'm talking about movies that either have the devil itself in there or, well, you'll see as we go along. So, as usual, I'm going to break the rules as normally. There's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes I go with 3 movies, sometimes I go with 4, and today we're going with a bunch. But you'll see. So, in no particular order, the first one I'm going to highlight is Angel Heart, starring Mickey Rourke, Lisa Bonet, Charlotte Rampling, and Robert De Niro as, spoiler alert for a 35-year-old movie, he plays the devil. And yeah, I love this movie. It's not necessarily a horror movie. It's more of like a thriller, suspense movie, but it does have some horrific imagery in it. And again, De Niro is awesome as the devil. He really is. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It was very controversial when it came out because Lisa Bonet was on The Cosby Show originally. And then she had just started her spin-off show called A Different World. And in between the seasons of season 1 and season 2, she filmed this movie, and anybody who's seen this movie knows that it's a very erotic film. She does a lot of pretty explicit love scenes with Mickey Rourke, and Bill Cosby, of all people, said that that was not wholesome enough for his brand, so he more or less had her fired from the show, even though she was the main character, and they replaced her with a different actress, or a different character rather, and the show continued on. Jump forward 30 odd years later, and we all know how it turned out. Lisa Bonet gets fired for, fake sex, and America's Dad, well, yeah. But anyways, regardless, Angel Heart, it's a great movie, directed by Alan Parker. Again, if you've never seen this movie, give it a chance, from 1987. Next, now this one is really tongue-in-cheek. It's not a horror movie at all, but it's a lot of fun. And it's based on a Stephen King novel, and I'm talking about Needful Things. This one's got a really good cast as well. It's got Ed Harris, Bonnie Bedelia, J.T. Walsh, Amanda Plummer, and the wonderful late, great Max von Sydow as, spoiler alert, the devil. This movie is awesome. This particular version of Kino, it comes with 2 versions. The theatrical version, which is 2 hours long, and the previously unreleased television cut, which is over 3.5 hours long. And believe it or not, that is my preferred version. Because Needful Things, the novel, is about 1,000 pages long. And when I saw the original theatrical version, I liked it. But I thought it was like a Cliff Notes version of that novel. The extended version on this Kino disc fully fledges out the plot with characters and backstories and such, and just makes it a more fulfilling experience in my opinion. But either way, Max von Sydow, like I said, he steals the show as Leland Gaunt, or the devil. You can tell he is having a ball, and every scene that him and J.T. Walsh are in together, it's gold. So, if you've never seen Needful Things, by all means, check this movie out. This one was directed by Fraser Heston, who is Charlton Heston's son. So, Moses' kid directed a movie about the devil. Then we've got this one from 1987 from the great John Carpenter. I'm talking about Prince of Darkness. This is my Scream Factory Steelbook. Look at this. It's beautiful. The colors on this thing, it's just great. This movie was not a success when it came out, critically or otherwise. The J card's stuck, unfortunately. I hate it when they put the little sticky things. This is not a dream. It wasn't a success when it came out, but then again, most of Carpenter's films in this period weren't successful. I mean, They Live wasn't a huge hit either. But this one, I think, is one of John Carpenter's most underrated films, if not the most underrated, because this movie isn't scary so much as that it's just dread-inducing and it's intense. And the last 15 minutes of this movie, even though it goes batshit crazy, it is. It's some of the most intense stuff that Carpenter's ever put on film, as far as I'm concerned. This is part 2 of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy. The first being The Thing. This one was the second chapter, and the third chapter was In the Mouth of Madness. All three of them have to do with, end of the world situations. And I like them in order. I think the first movie, The Thing, is the best. This one's the second best, and In the Mouth of Madness is the third. But again, Prince of Darkness, if you've never seen it, it's a weird movie. It's got a lot of technical gobbledygook that just throws a lot of people off. They just give up on it. Stick with this movie, I'm telling you. It's really, really creepy. It's one of Carpenter's best, in my opinion. But if we're talking Satan movies, I gotta go with this one. And this one is dedicated to my good friend Roy over at BluRoy Movies in the UK. This one's for you, buddy. Dominos, Christos. The Omen. Now, I was just going to pick out The Omen, the first one. But you know what? Take out the TV movie and that abomination remake and just stick with the trilogy. Omen, Damien Omen 2, and The Final Conflict. This is my Scream Factory box set, as you can see. Love the artwork on this. But you know what? Speaking of Satan, here comes some sacrilege for you. I prefer The Omen to The Exorcist. I do. I am going to talk about The Exorcist in a future video and how important it is to horror. Maybe it's because I saw this one first. But I saw this one at the drive-in. Have a drink, Roy. When I was about, this came out in 76, so I was 9 years old. And the ending of that movie just blew my mind. I'll never forget my father, the look on his face when that little bastard turned around and smiled at the camera. And I'll never forget it. My dad just was like, you gotta be effing kidding me. It's the only time I ever heard my dad drop an F-bomb in my mother's presence. And she even let it slide because she was more or less feeling the same way. And this movie did. It just destroyed me because, again, it's one of those dark, twisted endings that you don't expect. Not only that, but this movie began my love for Rottweilers for some reason. The dog is supposed to be terrifying, and for whatever reason, every time I see that dog, I just want to give it the biggest hug. I love Rottweilers, and it's mainly because of this movie. If I ever have a Rottweiler, I'll probably name it Damien. But anyways, guys, that's it for episode 5 of Shocktober 2025. I hope you enjoyed this little Satanic Sunday. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, leave those comments below. And I also want to remind everybody that on Tuesday, October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be the next live episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. You can watch that live either on the Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim channel at Talking Movies 2024 or at Sean's channel at Movie Assault. And we are going to be joined by special guest Dan over at Mr. Dan in Horror. And we are going to be talking about classic horror. Speaking of The Exorcist, we're talking about everything that came out before The Exorcist, which was in 1973. Because let's face it, when The Exorcist came out, not only did it change horror cinema forever, it more or less changed cinema forever. So we're going to stick to like the Hammer movies and the Universal movies and some of those glorious cheese fests from the 50s and 60s that we all love and hold near and dear to our hearts. So I hope you can join us for that. And once again, you can watch that live or on replay on either Sean's channel at Movie Assault or at the Talking Movies 2024 channel. And I'm going to be leaving links to all those channels in the description below. Once again, if you guys have stuck around this long, I just want to say thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one.